Still grows, some stranger to you and me.
Welcome back to another OnlineDrummer.com Monday drum lesson. I'm Nate Brown. In this drum lesson, we're going to go over the classic fills from In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. You can get this sheet music completely free at the link below. If you've been following our Friday Name That Groove trivia, you'll know that In the Air Tonight is the answer to this past Friday's trivia. We'll have another trivia next week, so check it out. Also, be sure to check out the chart-topping Drum Beats and Drum Fills series books. These are drum method books that take you from beginner techniques all the way to more advanced techniques and show you hundreds of examples of songs that use those techniques. So check them out. So we'll get started. I do want to point out that the first line in this music is repeated 9 times, and that beat just repeats over and over, and it's electronic. You've got some bongos. So what I did here is put a drum set interpretation. If you don't have the bongos, you can hit the high tom. It's not ideal, but it works. I'm just going to spend a second going over this groove because I really want to get to the fills. I find playing this open-handed, if I'm using my high tom, easier. If you've got a bongo over here, then you can use your right stick on the hi-hat. So open-handed, you'd be playing your left on the hi-hat. 1 and 2 and 4 and. And this is very quiet. The second measure, the hand pattern is exactly the same. 1 and 2 and 4 and. But the bass drum plays straight eighths, and you're going to accent a little bit the 2 and 4. When you string the 2 together, or something like that. And again, that's a drum set interpretation. Skip to measure 80. That's where that explosive classic fill comes in that everybody can recognize. Measure 80. 1 E and a 2 E and. Better move this. Measure 80. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. The pattern is 2, then 1 on the kick. The toms really stand out. So we're at forte. You see that F? It means forte, which means loud. Plus, they're accented. Boom, boom. So you're really going to be hitting those. The bass isn't quite as loud. And you'll see I'm adding, just for emphasis on the 4 and, I'm actually adding another tom. It's not, at least it doesn't sound like it's in the original recording, but I like to add it. If you don't have the 4th tom, I would suggest this. Do 2 here. And then 2 there as well. And you can even bring out the last 2 with a flam. And again, that's if you don't have the 4th tom. Right after the on the bass drum, a 1. You've got to hit the 1. 1 E and the 2 and you'll see I'm hitting flams on 4, 2 and 4. I just like the way that sounds better. It's not written in there, so you can just hit that. But when you're on stage playing this, flam gets you more into it. It looks cooler. You got more moving around. Let's go over some of the notation on measure 81. 1 E is a ghost stroke, so it's real light. 1 E and a 2 and. Then on 4, 4, and on the is a ghosted buzz stroke. And what's difficult is we've got the buzz stroke, 1 E and a 2. 1 E and a 2. A lot of people are going to find this groove uncomfortable because you're used to keeping your right stick going to keep time. And you might be tempted to maybe hit on your lap as you're playing, but don't do that. That's just going to show everybody that you've got this weakness. A better way to keep time would be with your heel. So you're not actually clicking on the hi-hat. You're kind of hitting the heel plate. So what I'll do here, 1E and 2 and 3 and 4, and my heel's going 3 and 4. That's the basics of this notation. So let's skip down to some more of the fills. For your convenience, we included, like on measure 89, below it, it says where it's at in the actual MP3. So it's 4 minutes, 3 seconds into the song. So if you want to work on a particular fill, you know where to start it. So skip to measure 91. This is kind of cool here with the hi-hat foot. 1 and 2 and 1. 1 is going to be a hi-hat splash. And I do that just by keeping my heel up and hitting the pedal with my heel. So the initial hit goes down, but since my foot is up, I'm not pressing it down, obviously. That stays open all the way until the next and of 2, where the foot closes. So you'll have 1 and 2 and. A lot of people are going to want to hit that and then leave their foot in the air, but the problem is you've got to hit another bass drum and then close, so you're going to look weird wobbling all over the place. So keeping the heel up, my foot is actually resting on the heel plate right now. So I'll explain the fill starting at the end of measure 92. 4E, the E isn't hit as hard. It's not a ghost, but it doesn't stand out as much as the 4. So 4E and a. It's cool how this fill actually starts on the 4 of measure 92 and continues and ends on the 2 of 93. It's a lot of numbers. And they're accented. We're playing forte. Measure 93 starts with the middle tom and then 2 basses as you switch drums. 1. Oops. Sorry. 4, 8, and then we end with a 2 and on the low tom and snare. And if you don't have the low tom, the 4th tom is the tom. So I'll play 92 and 93. And the fill, if you only have this. We've got another fill at the end of 96 and into measure 97. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. And I'll do that slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. The next measure starts with the bass drum and then the middle. 1 E and. Then you're going to go to the 4th tom or the 3rd if you don't have the 4th. It's going to be a light hit. It's like a ghost stroke. 4 and. I'll play 96 and 97. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's where you can tap to make sure you come in on 4. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Look at measure 100. We got another fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. So this one on measure 100, we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and up. Both of those are accented on the snare. 4 and up. And I do right, left. And of course, I like adding the flam on the 4. So 4 and still right-handed flam. Then bass drum. 4 and 1 E and ghost stroke on the snare. So 1 E and 1 E and 2 and. I'll play 100 and 101 slowly. 1 and 2 and. The last fill is on measures 112 and 113, and this is actually where the song is fading out in the recording. If you're playing live, you're probably not going to be fading out. So measure 112, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and slower, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 8 and 2 and the sticking from measure 112, right, left. Right, left, right, left, and then bass. 2 right-handed flams. I hope you enjoyed this week's drum lesson and give this song a try. Like I said earlier, it's a great workout for the hi-hat independence, but not only that, It's got such a classic drum fill and drum part that every drummer should learn to play it. So take your time with this one. Look for Alex Ribchester's Wednesday lesson on onlinedrummer.com coming up on Wednesday. Keep drumming.